Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Paxton TV reaction show to the latest Premier League triumph of Tottenham Hotspur in the game against Leicester City. I think we can say that was a game of mixed emotions and mixed performances, but the final score is Tottenham Hotspur 6, Leicester City 2. I don't know how to... I mean, there's lots of bones to pick out of this, but luckily I've got someone who will be able to help me do that. Welcome to my brother, Dejispurs, the Arsenal Slayer. How you doing, Deji?
Hey, Sean, I have to do it again. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in.
Oh, when the Spurs go marching in.
I want to be in that number. Oh, when the Spurs go marching in. Come on, you Spurs! Ah! Brilliant result. Brilliant
OMG, result. OMG. What a afternoon of ups and downs and, you know, mixed emotions and this strange formations and players.
It had everything. It had everything. And you know what? What more importantly, what today did was confirm what we have been saying over the weeks. I'm convinced now, after seeing the debacle, this formation that Conte started with. Sean, we talked about it a few weeks ago. I know I mentioned the fact that why can't we see Perisic right wing back? He's both footed. Why can't we see Cesc? We see that today. But you saw today, we've been saying it for weeks. It's all right for Son to sit on the bench. It's perfectly fine. Let him rest. He doesn't have to start every game. Maybe having a rest and watching the game. Look what happened with fresh legs. Son comes on and scores a hat-trick in 14 minutes. I tell you this, if Son had started a game, he doesn't score a hat-trick. It would have been the same mode, same mode. But him sitting out, having an opportunity to watch the game, enjoy the game for once, and you saw Son class. And can I just say to all those Arsenal fans out there who were giving me stick, who've been trolling me on Twitter, who've been sending me rude messages on WhatsApp, Son, in one game, is level with your joint top scorer, Martinelli, Saka, and Odegaard, who've all got, guess what? 3 goals this season.
Oh, Deji, man, you're an absolute tonic. But I suppose you've raised the question, and we've got to look at the team that was picked here. So I've got a little bit of a slide here for us to have a look at. The starting team today. I don't know if you can see that very well, but we started off with Lloris in goal, which is understandable. We went Sanchez right centre back, Dyer centre back, and Longley at left centre back. Perisic, as you've said, was at right wing back. Bentancur and Højbjerg did their usual bit in the middle. Sessegnon at left wing back, and then we went with Kulusevski, Kane, and Richarlison. Now, that to me looked like a particularly good team. You know, and given, you know, a refreshing of the team. However, I think we have to sort of, there's a bit of caution I want to give. I know we're all happy and what have you, but I did feel that our two central midfielders were leggy, absolutely leggy today. As particularly in the first half, we went 1-0 down, and Sanchez never really recovered from giving away that penalty. And I think it was not one of his most stellar performances. And you know, I've got to back Sanchez. You know, his record till quite recently was very good. But when you saw that team, what did you think?
Bro, Sean, to be honest, when I saw that team, I was happy with it. My only question mark is, just to quickly say that, you know, with the Sporting Lisbon game, I was vexed because I felt that it was a game for Cesc and it was a game for Spence. You could see in the last 20 minutes, the boys were tiring and we just needed a bit of pace. And I criticised Conte this week to say he doesn't take brave decisions. You know, I want him to make more, to be bold. I actually like that team. I kind of agree with you. Højbjerg and Bentancur look leggy. I don't know what, you know, in the end, it kind of worked. But I want to see a Bissouma. I really want to see Bissouma start. And you saw the difference he made in the last 20 minutes. But looking at that team, it's the best team he could physically put out there. Simply what? Because Emerson is not giving us anything going forward. Yes, he's very good defensively. The reason why Perisic is also on the pitch is because he does some absolutely exquisite, sexy balls. No one can do deliveries like Perisic. Mm-hmm. But also we need pace and someone who can stand up to a bit of pace and a bit of strength, and that is Cess. Longley starts because of his ball playing abilities. I mean, I can go on and bore you to death. So I had no complaints with that team. For me, based on form, that's the only team he could have started with. If you're being true that the first 11 should always be the best players, the best 11 for every game, then I'd have to say that arguably that is the best 11 so far this season.
Right. Okay. However, the first half, we went 1-0 down after 6 minutes. Yeah. We clawed our way back in front, and then we just let them back into the game. And, you know, Maddison was an exquisite finish to make it 2-2. And I was thinking, what is going on here? This is we're making Leicester look like prime Barcelona at times, giving them so much space. We couldn't seem to get the ball out of our area. There was so much cheap possession. I mean, they conceded a lot of cheap possession, but we were just as bad in that first half. And to be fair, I was a bit. I have to be honest. I was a bit apoplectic at halftime. I was thinking, this is the team I would have chosen, but Sessegnon, he sometimes lacks a bit of that last confidence. He's to go past the defender. I wonder whether Perisic was feeling a bit rusty because he hadn't played right wing back for a number of times. But we were level in the game at halftime, and I suppose whatever Conte said at the half-time had an effect. And Bentancur, who I absolutely love, I absolutely love the bones of that man, but he had a mare. He had a mare in the first half. Comes out, dispossesses the player, slots it in the corner in off the post, 3-2, happy days. And, I'm thinking, let's go on. But again, we let Leicester back into the game. Maddison seemed to be queuing up on the right wing or the left wing to pass for fun. And I'm just thinking, do we want to win this game?
Yeah, well, Sean, I really think it depends on what side of the fence you want to sit on. I think, Spurs, especially against Sporting Lisbon, we were criticised for not really going at them and just sitting back. And today, what I saw in the first half was a little bit of that kind of no holds bar, mate. There were no rules. Because if you look at the team, the reason why we conceded 2 goals is because we had no bloody shape. I mean, bloody hell, how many times did Maddison get on the ball? And it's Maddison and there's two centre backs, and then you're thinking, where the hell is the squad? And so we had to. Conte basically went for broke today. I think he was so pissed off with what happened midweek. He said, you know what, we need to win the game. And in winning that, we didn't really play the low block like we normally do. It was a little bit like basketball, to be fair, in that first half. In fact, the whole game was a basketball match, and it just so happens that we just came out on top, if I'm being honest.
I think the one thing that I give Conte credit for was decisive changes. I mean, he made changes from 10 minutes into the second half. You know what I mean? And that's like unheard of in Conte's whole time at Tottenham. So the fact that he brought on players and the players that came on improved our team. And our performance. In the end, we're worthy winners. But it was, God, we got to put you through it, don't they?
Do you know why? And this is why I say I know Conte's watching the show, because I'm not going to come out on today's show and say, look, I came out on Tuesday, and I said, bloody hell, Conte should have made changes long time ago. Do you know what I mean? He did not make changes. He's too risk adverse. I came out, I said it. I'm not going to lie. Today, I was thinking, bloody hell, this is a bit early, because you could tell from Perisic's face, like, what, you're taking me off, after 58 minutes or something? That's ridiculous. And then Richarlison come off. But, mate, what we got to understand is we were able to do that and Leicester couldn't. That is the difference now. Back in the day, Tottenham, you lose Teddy Sheringham, you bring on some striker. We had what's that geezer that came from the Netherlands? I mean, I forgot his name. That was the kind of replacement. Now you're bringing on a Son. Now you're bringing on a Bissouma. Now you're bringing on an Emerson Royale. Arguably, these are players that will start on any given Sunday, but today they're on the bench, and that makes a difference. And now, if you've got 5 quality players on the bench, use them. What I couldn't understand was why we weren't using them in the first place. As soon as you see them leggy, and I think big up to Conte. You know, I criticised him when I thought he was risk adverse. Today, playing the 3 midfielders, when he brought Basuma in, everything just settled down and allowed Son to get his, you know, the next couple of goals. So for me, I hear ya. But that's what we're crying out. We need big managers make big decisions at big times. And I have to say, Conte made a big decision today, and it came off. And long may it continue. But I don't want to see a bench full of superstars and Conte's making changes at 89 minutes. That to me don't make sense.
No, that is pretty strange. I mean, even on Tuesday night, he had 2 subs lined up to come on to give us pace, and when they scored their first goal, he made the subs sit down. Well, that's exactly the time you bring on
exactly.
subs, because you don't know how long injury time is going to be. And, you know, those 2 players could have made a difference. We could have got away with a 1-1, you know.
There you go.
Anyway, another wee slide for us, Deji, to dissect. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
But it's obviously the most important stat is the one at the top, as always, 6-2. Shots on target. We've got more shots on target than them. They've got more shots off target than us.
Yep.
Block shots about the equal. They've got more possession. So, you know, we actually conceded possession. We only had 41% possession.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of fairly even Stevens across the stats. But, you know, as we always say, Deji, the most important one is the one at the top, and it's the number of times the onion bag's been filled. We had, do you know what? Big up to Sonny. Do you know what? I'm a grown man. I'm 61 years old. I'm not ashamed to say I was crying when he scored, because the look of relief, that you know, the love he feels for our football club, the love he feels for us as fans, it just shone through in those celebrations.
I agree.
And God, I was worried when they were going to chalk off his hat-trick goal, because he did everything right to stay on side. But, you know, Sonny in his post-match interview said, I would have been absolutely raging if they'd give, you know, because I did everything I could to stay.
Yeah. No, he deserved it. And he's a big
absolutely deserved it. Absolutely deserved it. And he's gonna go away on his international break, he says, and, you know, weight off his shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. And, you know, what I would say is that, you know, it's easy. You know, I was one of the ones who said, look, Son shouldn't start. And because he did look a bit leggy, he looked lethargic. And sometimes you just got to do something different. You know, if you do the same thing expecting a different result, we call it madness. And, you know, we know with the way that these teams analysis and all of that sort of stuff, just change it up. I just think the mere fact that he didn't start bamboozled Leicester. Just that. And then he came on super fresh while those guys were a bit leggy. And Son is already a handful at pace when you're fully fit. But when you're starting to tire in the game and then you've got to play against a fully fit and fully fresh Son, it's an absolute nightmare. And can I just say, people, especially these Arsenal rubbish fans, trying to give me some nonsense and some crap over the internet, telling me how boring our football is. Can I just publicly declare that Tottenham are the second highest goal scorers in the Prem with 18 goals, second only to Manchester City? Can I also say that our goal difference is plus 11? Second.
Oh, hold it there. Let me just introduce this to you.
Oh,
and here we are. Look at this.
Thank you.
There is the table tonight. And we have got the same number of points as City. We are 6 goals different, less than them, but you know, they are a killing machine at the moment. But yeah, let's see the first signs of pressure being applied to Arsenal when they go to Brentford tomorrow. You know?
Yeah, put some respect on our name. We've hit double figures in terms of goal difference already. Mate, I'm telling you, I don't. I saw in our WhatsApp group, we haven't played pretty, we played crap. I don't give a damn, mate. with those kind of stats don't lie. Plus 11 goal difference, scored 18 goals. I am very happy for this to keep going for the rest of the season. I've been saying it. Don't disrespect. I've been telling people all those lazy comments is only going to be between Liverpool and City. You kept ignoring Spurs. I think now you can't ignore us any longer. 7 games played and we haven't lost. 17 points, mate. I'm not going to speak too soon, but dare I say, if that was any other club, that would be Championship form.
Yeah, we're doing well. I have to say, it's we're certainly on par for the number of points I thought we'd have. Other than obviously we missed the City game last week. That could have been that could have been slightly different, but who knows? We've certainly done more than enough to justify our position. I mean, I don't know. I swither. I go from performances and results. Today, was a performance, particularly in the second half, but it was the use of the squad.
That's what I was going
to say. The
fact
that we had 3 in the midfield when Basuma came on. He went to 3 and then just Kane and Son up front. Even Royale, when he came on, made a difference. He was up and down the wing. He was game management. He was playing, keep ball with the rest of the team while we went further and further ahead. And those first 2 goals from Son,
absolutely,
as they say,
never.
Form is temporary, but class is permanent,
mate. Honestly, I would love to say, never any doubt. I was nervous for Son, but I kept saying, people kept trying to call me out. Is Son terrible? This and that. I said, no, he just needs a break, just needs a rest. And I'm so grateful to Son for coming good. But Sean, you said something that was so key that a lot of people will miss, and this is why me and you, we get on so well. And anyone watching this show, you get analysis that sometimes some people don't pick up. The most important thing from today's victory is the squad. And let me explain why. Back in the day, we start Sanchez, we lose. We were able to keep Romero, Son. Romero, Son, Basuma, Emerson Royale. Arguably 4 of our starters on the bench. And we were still winning. We were winning. And then we could bring them on. That, for me, Spurs fans, do not sleep on this. That is the biggest game changer. Those punks down the road, Arsenal, can't do this. When they bring on their Nketiah and Emil Smith-Rowe, it's like bringing on players from Cheltenham FC. They can't bring on pretty much like for like in quality. And that's what Conte has done. That's what Pochettino didn't have. Harry Redknapp, Mourinho, when the quality does not fit. And you could see it today. The reason why Conte was banging on about the quality and the strength in depth, because today I was like, wow, we can afford to put Son on the bench. We can afford to leave Romero on the bench. Romero could have started.
Yeah.
But we can afford to do that. And that, for me, is the big win today. Because that gives the whole squad confidence.
I have to say, I understood why Romero was kept on the bench today, because he did take a terrible whack on the knee on Tuesday night, and his knee seemed to blow up like a football. But I have to say, it was not Sanchez's finest hour, I must admit. He had a bit of a mare, to be fair, today. But, eventually Conte says, well, enough is enough, and I'm bringing the boy on, football knee or not, So anyway, what I like to do when we do this is like interact with our viewers, and thanks for everyone who's been in there. Make sure you smash a like on the stream. So we'll go with Kevin here. That is one of the finest games of football I've seen in a long time.
Big up to you, Kevin. I agree.
And he's added that. Sam, tell Darius he's right. Sanchez not at that level. I was wrong. Well, let's say everyone's allowed a bad day at the office. So
he had a bad day, but let's be real. I think Sanchez has played 8 games or 9 games now where he's been in the starting lineup, and we ain't lost. You know, so I'm not gonna knock Sanchez after this game. I mean, Loris had him here a couple of weeks ago. Do you know what I mean? It does happen. The main thing is that when we've called upon Sanchez this season, he's been there and he's done a job. So I'm not. And if you win, if we lose, it's slightly different. But when you win, you know, you say, look, you could have done better, but we move on. We don't even discuss it because so far this season, he's actually, you know, for me to say, I actually went as far as to say, look, Sanchez. It would be interesting to see Romero play the dire role and Sanchez play. He was doing that well, to be honest, and that's another potential rotation with Longley. I can see that working. I'm just trying to, you know, mix and match, flip round with the squad because that's what you're going to need to do.
Well, come October the 1st, when we go down the other end of the Seven Sisters Road with our Dettol and Domestos to disinfect us, we will see, because there's going to be 12, 13 games, I think, in October. I mean, they're away for a couple of weeks now on an international break. But anyway, let's go back to our viewers. Jews nuts. We have to be careful when we say this. Couldn't watch. I'm travelling and pissed I missed this. So, Jews, you missed the classic.
You missed the classic game, mate.
Yeah, Kevin, Dave Clark, who will have a very interesting night in Leicester tonight with his Leicester supporting family. It was good up to half time. I don't know. He wasn't watching the same game as me, Kevin. It was bloody horrible up to half time. Stuart Such, good up to you, Stuart. We were pretty bad until we changed to 3-5-2, and of course when Sonny come on. I really hope we play 3-5-2 the Goons. So often this season we just get outnumbered. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely. Thank you, Stuart.
I agree. Just picking up on Stuart's point there, I agree. I mean, for me, one of the things why I was happy with the 3-5-2 is because prior to this season, and Conte is known to really never really want to change it up. And I think for us to be successful this season, we've got to be prepared to change it up. Sometimes, I agree with Stu, we're going to need a 3-5-2. Sometimes it might even be the 3-5-2, but Kane drops deep, and we have, you know, the golden quartet, you know, the 4x4 100-meter US team, all on the pitch with Charleston, Cooley, Son, Kane, and we go for broke. That's what I want to be seeing. I want to see Spence come into the squad. You know, it's the changing up of the guard, because when we do the same old, it became a little bit too predictable, and teams just knew how to cut us off. So for me, you know what I mean? Sorry.
Hold on a second. I think we've got a visitor.
Is it Sid?
It could be. Let's see. Can't. Oh dear, I was struggling here. Oh, let's add him. Yes, there he is. Sydney.
Well done, Sid.
Sydney. How you doing, my friend? You're on mute.
You're on mute, Sid.
How are we doing, boys?
Mate,
we've just been picking the bones of that game. That first half was like watch through the fingers. The second half was sit back, cigar on, champagne glass. We were fine.
What did I say yesterday? Don't underestimate them coming to us. They've not won a game. They can't score goals for toffees. But Dr. Tottenham will see you in the first half. And exactly what happened. I don't know what you guys thought at home, but first off, we just weren't at the races, were we?
No,
we was poor.
The bizarre thing is we'd clawed our way in front, and I just thought, right, but our defence, I have to say, I would say, for me, only Dyer emerged with any credit.
Yeah.
I thought Longley was a bit subdued. I thought Sanchez was a mare.
Yeah.
But you know why that is, though, isn't it? You know why that is, Sean? Sorry. Because when Conte literally tells the player, and this is probably one of my main criticisms of Conte, is that he literally tells the players, if you take a step to the right, then you've got to take 2 steps left, then you've got to move 1 step back, then you've got to move another step forward, like he's on a draft board or something, or playing chess. But the problem is, because he doesn't allow the players to think for themselves, we've never played with that back four in those positions at any point. So that was new. And if you want to play his rigid defensive system, defensive line with the same defensive movement, they were working it out on the pitch. Yeah. And so there needs to be something about allowing the players to have a little bit of freedom to express themselves. And he can't just be so dictatorial that they've got to do the exact move he wants them to make in that exact space of time, because that's what happens. Because they did look lost. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Anyway, Sid, we're in that sort of like comment section now. I've done my slides. You've missed them.
Yeah.
They were pretty horrible, by the way. They're nowhere near the usual high standards of this channel. But anyway, that's what happens when you put an old man in charge of IT.
Mate, Sean, it was a great job, mate.
Are you up to wrapping up in a minute or two then?
No. I'm prepared to go on. I'm enjoying this.
No. Obviously,
Deji's got a charger issue, I think, but we'll go. Anyway, Michael Bennett. Cheers, Michael. Spurs never make it easy, do they? Oh my God, never a truer word said. Never a truer word said. Like this one from Ishmaela. Spurs can play. Who would have thought it, eh?
Well, yeah, indeed. It's about time. It's about bloody time. But we need to play. We got the players to play. Why we've been sick. And the thing is, again, sorry to keep harping back, but it is hard to play football without the ball.
Yeah.
And that's why Bentancur, Højbjerg looked shattered, because you've got them running marathons week in, week out, twice a week. Do you know what I mean? Like they're bloody doing the Olympics or something. It's easy to play football with the ball. And so, yeah, we need to.
I think this latest comment from Tenno Football, and big up to Tenno Football, is backing you up there, Deji. It took a while, but so good to see a genuine Plan B 3-5-2.
Yeah.
It
was.
How did it look from the stadium?
So at the big, like you've already mentioned it, yeah. When the team came out, Romero not playing, Perisic and Sessegnon as the fullbacks, people were like, "Why? What's going on here?" A bit weird. And then when he took Perisic off for Emerson Royal, again, people were like, what's going on here? But first off, a lot of fans were frustrated because time and time again, how many times did Sessegnon, Højbjerg go forward with the ball and then come straight back? Sessegnon had tons of space in front of him, right, to run into, but he kept coming back and then going back to the keeper in the end. So the fans were getting frustrated, but I think we could sense it because at half time when he had all three of them getting warmed up on the pitch, we knew there was something happening, and we knew that he was going to change the formation and bring on Bissouma or whoever at some point. So, you know what? It looked good. And like you said, guys, it's good that we actually changed the formation and we know that it can work. And it worked. I mean, for me, Bissouma looked a little bit lost because I don't know if you guys can see on the actual game itself on telly, but in the stadium, what you were saying, Deji, he was just running around. He didn't know, or I don't know if he was told to go and sit in a specific space, chasing space all the time. And I'm like, mate, you're just going into no man's land. Just think, just sit back, think, where do I need to be? But you know what? We'll carry on with the comments, but I've got a couple of other bits that I want to say, and whether you guys have mentioned it, I don't know. But
well, I mean, I alluded, and Deji kind of did as well, that we've not played that back line. Perisic to me looked a bit rusty. I mean, he's played a lot on the left. I can't, who knows when he last played on the right. And I think although he's equally deadly with both feet, I do think it was a bit of a tough shift for him. And then when they inverted the full backs as well, that was another strange one. But do you know what? The 55 minutes, the first sub, and we were by that time we were 3-2 ahead. But Conte could see that we were still conceding too much in the midfield, and he was decisive today. And that's a big up to my manager. Absolutely,
thing, Sean. You've been to games as many, as much as I have gone. Have you ever seen our players warm up at half time? I have never seen it. This is the first time I've actually seen them come onto the pitch to actually warm up. So Conte must have known already 20-25 minutes into that first half that I'm going to have to make some changes here. Because I've never seen three players warm up straight away at half time, not even going to the tunnel or in the changing rooms to sit with the boys. They were straight out. So,
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do a few more comments here. Ishmael is back. They just need to press higher. Well, I don't think we did press very high even in the second half. And you know, the score, you know, the most important stat, which is the goals for and against, suggests that we got it right today. So I'm not sure about that. I don't think we are a pressing team in the same thing. And I think a lot of that is to do with energy conservation in this mad season with a World Cup in the midway, I think. What do you think, Deji?
No, I totally agree. I feel like that's what Spurs have been doing all season, is that we are playing the long game. I've been saying it on a few channels now. We're not, you know, you're getting a lot of teams giving you hot bluster at the beginning of August, you know, and the whole month of August. But this is a marathon. And with the way that we play, I think you're going to see the kind of fitness regime, the work that Tottenham are putting in behind the scenes from October onwards, because teams are starting to tire now already. Do you know what I mean? Because of the pace of the league. And what you're seeing with Spurs is they're playing within themselves. We're not going to just run around and do crazy stuff. But when we need to get going at the business end of the season, so after Christmas, I think that's when you start to see Spurs kick on. And results like this will be more often than not. You know, I think towards the end of last season, we were banging in goals for fun. I can see that happening again after Christmas. We'll be banging in goals for fun.
What was I saying on Friday night? We're going to give this team a hiding.
Yeah.
They
got banged. Poor old Brendan has lost his job, I'm sure.
Well, we'll see. Anyway, 10-0 football. Come on, you Spurs. Very good. Oh, 10-0 football bigging you up there, Deji.
Yes, big ups, 10-0.
Oh, this is going to be so sweet for Spurs fans tonight. Sean, going for a pint in the village to the Gooner pub. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm with you in that pub. Raise a pint of Guinness for me. Raise a pint of Guinness for me. That is fantastic. Good on you, Kevin. What's going on here? Questionable spelling of Heibjerg. Oh, that's obviously on my slide. I'll take that, Ricky. No worries. Then I go and spell it wrong as well, eh? Yeah, oh, cheers, dear. Ricky. The pride before the fall, Ricky Mia. 10-0 football. By the way, we got a snatch for Maddison from Leicester in January window before someone else does.
Yeah, he's quality. I can
he
see
is a quality player.
Yeah.
But I think if we wanted him, we might have got him in the summer. So I don't know.
There's still something's not right with him, and Conte's not seeing something. I don't know what it is, but we've discussed this many times. I've done it on 6 days as well. Quality player, but there's something that Conte does not like about him, and that's probably why. There's something not right.
He certainly seems to be more bewitched by Zaniolo at Roma than he is by Madison.
But I think what it is, if you look at Conte, he likes a particular profile. So first and foremost, he likes them to be about 6 foot, and he likes them to be a little bit, dare I say, look like warriors, if you know what I mean. And I think maybe Maddison just looks too much like a little boy. Not being disrespectful, but when you look at that Zaniolo, I think he's roughly about the same age. He does look like a Spartan. He looks like a gladiator. Yeah. And I think Conte just wants, you know, it's a little bit like the Man U squad. When you look at the Man U midfield, they're just full of fighters, to be honest with you. Matt Tomine, you know, all these big guys, Fred and all, you know, Maguire, these are all big men. So I think he's doing the same.
Yeah, it's about giving a platform as well. You know, I mean, look at the you know, how Eriksen is slotting sort of seamlessly into that team now that he's got, you know, players around him to give him the ball. Anyway, Mojo is backing us up, backing me up. I think Sanchez shouldn't have gone to ground, but the forward bought the penalty. Really was a mess defensively first half. Absolutely, defensively we were shocking. There didn't seem to be. We didn't seem to have the. Once we cleared the lines, we didn't seem to retain the ball. It came straight back, and it put us under a lot of pressure. And I think today Sanchez was rattled by that first half. So, what's this? Mojo, it's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters first half. Deji, you called it. Basketball game.
It was a basketball game. It really was. I mean, the amount of space. Madison running into space. He could have carried on running if he wanted to and had a shot on goal. It was a bit open, and I was wondering, is that deliberate? Because Conte, usually when you watch Spurs in the first half, why the first half have always been pretty poor is because he's been very cautious. You know, no one's really coming forward. But today it was the floodgates. I mean, it was the parting of the Red Sea. Everybody was just running up and down. It was like playground there. Literally Globetrotters / and one. That kind of stuff, you know. Freestyle basketball.
Joel, Conte wanted calling out last Tuesday using just one sub. True, yeah, I think we've done that. We did say that. I said how he had subs available even when they went 1-0 down, and he put them back on the bench. You don't know how long injury time's got. Teams are always vulnerable. If those players were there to get a goal, 1-1's better than 2-0. So anyway, this is the quote. Yeah, for me. I said, Sid, earlier, I actually was in tears seeing how much Sonny, how that meant to him. Just scoring that first goal, but to get a hat trick, what a player! Honestly, I'm not ashamed to say I'm 61. I'm old and I'm emotional in football, and Sonny brought the tears today because you could see what it meant to him. How he felt the love from the fans. Just those pictures were just dynamite today. Absolute dynamite.
I think deep down, I think he needed that. He needed to be dropped just to, put that thing up him. Because no matter what, the fans were always behind him, no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was calling for him to be replaced. It didn't mean that I wanted him fired out of the club.
No.
I was trying to. I'm actually having, I'm being like an employer, due care to my employee.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Deji, what do you think, Sonny?
Yeah, I'm full agreement with Sid. I never had any doubts for Son, but what I did say is if you're not playing well, sit out. And he wasn't playing well. He'll be the first to admit it. And what I couldn't understand is why Kulusevski was being the one that had to sit out. He's not put a foot wrong. And I think if we're being true to ourselves, Son knows he wasn't on form, and that's why we brought in Richarlison, so that if anyone, Son, Kane, or Kulian are not quite at the races, then we've got someone on the bench who is. But I felt he needed this. He needed a break. He needed an opportunity to see the game from the bench. And you can see he was so motivated when he came on. He was so angry but you need that. Because if he had just, I said it already. I think if Son started, he doesn't score today.
Yeah,
it would have been more of the same. And so for Conte, let that be a lesson learned. If Kane, the only thing is, can he be bold enough to do that with Kane? Kane, ever present, he's played every bloody minute of every game and was supposed to be protecting him. If Kane's having a mare, get him off. There's nothing wrong with that.
I have to say, I thought Kane was class in the second half.
First off, he wasn't. I think he's passing and he lost the ball too many times. And there was a few times.
But second half.
Yeah, but I think there were still times in the second half where he could have released the ball a little bit quicker, if you know what I mean. He held on to it a little bit too much. But you know what? For Son, it's just finishing off on Son. I mean, to come off the bench, to be dropped because you've not been playing well, and then to come off the bench, score a 14-minute hat-trick and be the match winner, that just sums it up, doesn't it? That's what you wanted. That's what he wanted, because now they were all singing his name. They were all, where I was, it was mental. So I can't imagine what South Stand was like. But where we were, they were absolutely delirious, man, for him. And they were happy for him.
But Sean, can I just say, because I know you're going to read this out, but can I just say that starting doesn't mean you're dropped. If you don't start, it doesn't mean you're dropped. It could just be that this is the best team to start the game. And it could be because I think that was a tactical decision. It is a master stroke from Conte. Look, Son at pace against the leggy Leicester City team spells disaster. And so for me, I just think, because I want to see more of that, actually. Games where maybe Son doesn't start, he comes on and he does this. Yeah, mate. Or Kane. I want to make this a thing where actually you don't start, but that could be a tactical decision. Do you know what I mean? Not that, I'm just thinking if we play Eintracht Frankfurt and Kane doesn't start, does that mean he's dropped, or are we just trying something new out?
Well, I think maybe we need to not use the D word and call it what Conte says, the R word, rotated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a squad game now, and given the madness of this season in terms of 2-3 games a week, I can understand that. But I was going to, as you say, Lloyd Hughes here, I think he sums up everything about today. When they pulled it back to 2-2, I thought, here we go. But Sonny gave a masterclass, absolutely. But anyway, there's a bit of there's a bit of pushback from our comments, and I like this. Ben Davis, you don't give a damn right now, but what about when our luck runs out?
That's me. So I said I don't give a damn about our performances. I just care about the result. I think Ben Davis, no disrespect to you, friend, and I know you're a Spurs fan. I hope you're not buying into the kind of media narrative that you see on Twitter and that you're reading in the newspapers. I don't think Spurs have been winning by luck. I think we're winning by design. We are not set up to have the most possession. Conte is quite happy with us sitting back, hitting on the counter and getting results. It doesn't look pretty. I agree with you. It doesn't look pretty. But when I look at the table, we are joint top with Manchester City. We are second highest goal scorers with the second highest goal difference in the league. Are you calling that luck? Or are we calling it by design?
Well,
I mean,
Ben's doubled down here and he said that Leicester should have been winning at half-time. Yeah, they could have been ahead. Maddison missed a chance right on half-time, which would have put them 3-2 ahead. But, you know, that's why we have such a good goalkeeper. And big up, we haven't mentioned him today, but Hugo did his job today. He picked out some incredible saves. He couldn't really do too much about the penalty, and he couldn't really, he couldn't do anything about the second goal either. But that's why I love Ben. I love the fact that we've kept Hugo whilst we try and think about the future and get a new goalkeeper. But yeah, Ben, thanks for the contributions. It's thought provoking, and I can't disagree with you. Leicester could have been ahead at half time. Anyway, there's another comment here.
Have we talked about that filth of a pass by Højbjerg in that second half?
Which one
are we talking about there?
The one down the line where he played it to Kane, I think it was, from his own half, where he bent the ball round the touchline, and I think Son or Kane ran onto it.
No, I don't. I think I might have missed that.
Oh my God!
I might have missed that. Jeez, what was I looking at?
I don't know, but that was a filth of a pass. Everyone where I was sat.
He's not got a lot of it, but I think Højbjerg can occasionally produce a pass. I mean, I still can't get over that away at Leeds, the goal that Kane scored from the edge of their 6-yard box, and it was that looping kind of that was Højbjerg. Incredible pass. Incredible pass.
But you know what? Sorry, Sid.
If you get the opportunity, look for that.
I'm going to look.
Oh my God! Honest to God, you'll be like, wow.
One of the things that I used to say, in my criticisms of Dele Alli was that every season you got to change your game. If you watch Kane, he'll go forward, he'll go back, he'll go left, he'll go right, and that's what makes him a great striker. That's what makes the best Premier League players the best. They always tweak their game slightly. And I'm going to have to put some respect on Højbjerg's name this season because he's changed his game. Remember when he first came in under Mourinho, he was our Conte. He was our defensive midfield destroyer. We don't want anything from him apart from tackles. This guy is turned into a box-to-box ball-playing midfielder. And I remember Pep saying that Højbjerg was a baller at Bayern Munich. I think we forget, because he came from Southampton to us, that this brother played at Bayern Munich. He is top-level footballer. Do you get what I'm saying? And what you're seeing is Højbjerg starting to come to the fore. Because, I mean, did he get an assist? He assisted Son, for Son's second. Was that him? Or did Son? Yeah, no, for the hat trick. That was from Højbjerg, wasn't it?
Was that not Højbjerg?
I'm gonna check, but I'm pretty sure. But what I wanted to say is that so far he's scored 2 goals this season. It looks like he's got a couple of assists. Let's just put some respect, Højbjerg. We see what you're doing, mate. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, for me, he had a really poor game Tuesday night. Very poor. First half, him and Bentancur work just didn't seem to, as I was saying, were leggy. But in the second half, they stepped up. Another comment here, and I'm going to put this one on because this is a personal friend of mine. Tom, big Spurs fan up here in Glasgow. Yes, loving the Spurs and Deji show. Excellent analysis. I don't think so. Although if I'm competing with Jamie Redknapp, that's not difficult, is it, Deji?
No, 100%, mate. No, big up to Tom.
Yeah.
Loving it, mate. Look, we have to enjoy these days. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like we said it and we've been talking about it on Paxton Road. The tide turned when we beat Arsenal 3-0. When we got the Champions League, I knew Conte wasn't playing any games. And I know a number of us have made some bold predictions on Paxton Road. But my comment is, why think any different? Conte is going for broke this season. Is this now officially our best start to the Premier League, even under Poch, in terms of points?
I don't know. I would need to look that up, to be
Because
fair.
I think it might be 17 points from 7 games. Is bloody good.
Even in the season, you know, like our last season in the league at the Lane, we didn't have quite that, you know, these number of points. I don't think so. I think we had a few draws early season,
and we've won every game at home.
Yeah,
so far.
Yeah. So Moljo's come back and said that he had a little return at Ben, saying, "What about when the team finally clicks and plays to its full potential?" Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's not get too upset about that. Ben raised some valid points, and you do as well, Moljo. We're not going to fall out on a night like this, 6-2. I'm still thinking of Kevin and his pint of Guinness in the village pub. You know what I mean? And so proper quality options. Yeah, everyone's saying it, Deji.
Yeah.
My good friend Pav here. I agree, Deji. Conte knows what he's doing. We played as a team and it was class. Yeah, good analysis there. Thank you, Pav. Kevin Murray, we can destroy Arsenal. Oh, man. Yeah, the next game after the international break.
I'm not scared of Arsenal. What I would like is for our players to rest. Like, does Kane have to start for England? Let them try out Calvert-Lewin or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they're playing friendlies, we don't need Kane and all of our players playing. I'm looking at Arsenal's team and notice that Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, and Gabriel are not in the Brazilian squad, partly because they're shit, but also it might also play in their favour as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're not playing international and we are. That's only making our players tired.
Yeah. Ivan Toney's in the squad, so let him play. He's on form. Put him on instead of Kane.
It's Tammy Abraham in the squad too. Let him play, you know?
You know what Kane's going to do. He doesn't need to play these games.
A big support for us, Lloyd, one of our regulars here. Hit those likes, folks. Moljo, at last, well said, Deji. How can the players play when Conte is constantly trying to move them around the table as if they're chess pieces? Let them play a bit. Well, you know, I think he does. I just think today a lot of players were below par. Teddo Smith has recognised that Sid's in the house. Big up for Sid there.
Thank you. Big up top.
Alejandro Perez might have to consider the 3-5-2 being plan A. Ooh.
Why not?
Oh, Darius and me would be all over that. But you know, let's see what.
Why not?
What happens? Like, you know, maybe it's horses for courses. You know, there's teams that can't deal with a 4-3-4 and a 3-4-3, and there are other teams that we need to play 3-5.
I think.
Yeah.
I think he'll still do his normal routine, and if it doesn't work now, he knows I can revert to a 3-5-2, and I think that's when it will come on. He'll never stop with a 3-5-2, in my opinion, but he'll adapt and change it if need be.
Yeah.
Okay, Kevin Murray, he's probably licking his lips at his pint there. Big up Deji, top man. Match today going to be brilliant. Oh, Arsenal fretting, yes. Long may they fret.
Well, just so Kevin knows, I've been one of the only people to predict that Arsenal will finish 8th this season. Now, I said that before the season started, and my opinion of that squad hasn't changed. I believe Arsenal's first 6 games, if it was spread across the season, they would have won those games. It just so happens to be bunched in. But let's be under no illusions. Arsenal are absolutely garbage. And like I said, their bench is equivalent to Cheltenham FC. And I think from tomorrow when they lose to Brentford, which I believe Brentford will win 2-1, 2 goals from Ivan Toney, that's when the wheels will start to fall off. Look, it's not financial advice, but put a little cheeky tenner on a 2-1 Brentford, mate, and then get a pint on me.
Deji, you like this one as well? You like this one, yeah? I just found out today, well, obvious, but Son gave Jesus a 6-game start, and now Son is level on goals with him.
That's what I'm saying.
Give the man a 6-game start, yeah? And they were drooling over him, and Son's had taken 6 days of rest, 6 games, and he's now level on goals with Jesus. Take that to the bank.
It's a travesty. I actually said that Richarlison will score more Premier League goals than Jesus. So we're even giving them credit to compare Jesus with Son. I'm saying Richarlison. That's what I'm saying. Well, you're dead right, mate. In one game, he's caught Arsenal's top goal scorer this season.
You know what I mean? That's
Shocking.
it. Shocking.
John Fernandez is saying is bigging up the change of formation as well. Change of formation at last. Oh, Toxic's come in here, backing his man. Shut up, Son haters. Now, Toxic, we're not haters. We don't hate Son. We love Son. In fact, we love him so much. We didn't want to see him to go through the pain.
No, I think he's talking about all the mudslinging that Son's had to pick up from all those Gooner fans this week. I had one, some clown called Tony Cloud. No, he's actually a good guy, but he was telling me that Son doesn't deserve to play and blah blah blah, this and that, and those sorts of haters there were just wishing. I used to tell him he's on a wing and he does his shows on a wing and a prayer. Do you know what I mean? No actual facts, no analysis. He's just hoping these things will happen. And lo and behold, a couple days later, Son has completely burst his bubble. So for you, Tony Claude,
So we don't hate Son. We love Son. Big up to our good friend Jodi, who's having to deal with some family emergency. And she is the biggest supporter of Son. She will be happy tonight, and God bless her as she's dealing with that issues. And we got Craig. I love to see Craig in the comments. Oh, where's he gone? Oh, I've lost him.
Has David not been on tonight, Sean?
David hasn't been on, actually. I wonder I think we should send out a message to Leicester Police to say that there might be a bit of spousal abuse going on in Leicester tonight, for the fact that we not only beat his beloved team, but absolutely murdered them. Yeah. So here, hold on, I've got Craig back. Love the 4-3-5-2 formation, as well as I thought we were far more dangerous on the break with Son playing on the shoulder. Possession stats right up with the extra player in the middle. Yeah, even over the game, we were only 41%, Craig, but yeah, I see what you mean. Jews Nuts, who missed the game and is gutted. He's got a red sub to come on early. 55 minutes, the first sub.
Yeah.
Decisive.
Yeah.
Big up, Conte, my manager.
It was Perisic came off at Emerson Royale first, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And did you guys see Perisic got booked?
Yeah, what for?
Yeah, for coming on. He came on the pitch.
He ran onto the pitch to celebrate with Son. He was the first one to run onto the pitch.
Right. He's a legend already. He's a legend.
He's a legend, mate. To do that, come on. Whenever you're a player,
you know what? I rate Perisic. He's really brought to us,
Yeah.
The way he's playing and the sort of passion that he's showing. He's not just showing it. You can feel the love. Like, he genuinely wants us to do well. And big up to him, because he's been a breath of fresh air. He's brought some much needed quality to the squad, and he's a class act, man. He's a legend of the game, and we should put some respect on his name. He's a living legend.
Yep, give him his flowers, definitely. The John Fernandez is Soulful House. Yeah, that's football 6-2. I think we can all agree with that one. Who we got here? We've got Kevin Murray. Kevin Murray, he must be champing at the bit for that point. Like Deji, first time listening to the man. He talks the talk. Yes. Oh, Deji's fan club amongst the Paxton Road community is growing by the hour. Okay.
Mate, that's it.
Hotspur made some really sloppy passes and got caught on the ball a few times. He did. First half was not good enough. Not good enough. No. Pierre Emile got the assist for Son's third. Deji calling it.
Yep.
He should start 3-5-2 against City.
I doubt it.
That would make sense. That would
make sense. Yeah. But then we beat them with 3-4-3 last season.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense, does he, with what he does? But as long as he does what he does and it works, who are we to complain?
Absolutely. Kevin Murray, Deji the man. Oh my God,
Love
Deji,
Kev,
the love,
Kev.
the love.
Kev, look, let me give you another one. One of my predictions, loving Kev. Look, I've said it. I've said it from before the season started. I think we beat Arsenal home and away this season, mate. I think we go to the Emirates and absolutely slap those boys 3-0. And then when they come over to our ground, I think we do them 6-0 at our ground this season. But rest assured, Spurs win home and away 6-0. Not financial advice, but to put a Tottenham double this season, mate, it's good returns. It's good returns. Look, I'm out here making there's a cost of living crisis, and there's some easy pickings out there, and easy pickings with those jokers from the other side of Seven Sisters. Come on, you Spurs.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, someone said agreeing with you, saying that Dave gone missing. Yeah, I'm assuming that's Dave Clark he's referring to.
I think so. We're gonna have to send an SOS to the world.
Yep, and again, nice message from Lloyd, our friend. Yeah, hope Jodi is okay. Yeah, we've got her back, Lloyd. Yeah, okay. Kevin laughing there. Yeah, so I think that's got us coming to the end of the conclusion. So we've gone a bit over time, but I thought there was a lot to pick out of that game. It was good and bad, but in the end we triumphed, absolutely triumphed. We've probably given Brendan Rodgers his P45 at last.
Sean,
yes, Sid.
What did I say yesterday? Can you remember?
Well, I can't remember what happened half an hour ago.
Remember when I said they're going to come to us, we'll end up slaughtering somebody, because I said we've not scored 5, 6 or 7 goals this season, and it's coming. It came. What else did I say? Leicester will be hoping we batter them because they want to sack Brendan Rodgers so that they can have a 2-week break to go and get another manager, and he can go to Brighton. It could come through tomorrow.
I believe Brighton are talking to an Italian coach at the moment. To be fair, yeah.
Well, you know what? It could happen.
It could happen, yeah.
But mate, Sid, mate. On that note, mate, I'm gonna. I think I can send a tweet to Bet365. I might do a little prediction on that. for the inside information.
I'm telling you, Brighton. He's gonna end up at Brighton. Watch.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been concluded, that deal, so it might well be. Yeah. It's just, we could be cashing in. There's Lloyd. Thanks, guys. Belton Show. Good for everyone that's been in the comments, and great show, Sean. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. It's only made by my fellow contributors. They're the guys that make this show. I'm just an old guy who's followed Spurs for far too long. But yeah, enjoy myself tonight. Going to watch Match Today. I think I've got a few cans from Beavertown Brewery sitting somewhere in the fridge. So maybe watch that later on. Absolutely. So anyway, last thoughts then, Deji, on today.
Yeah, no, it was an absolutely splendid performance. I think it's something that we needed. And hopefully now that will give the boys, including Son, some confidence to actually take the game by the horn. We've got so much quality up there, and it was just good to see quality shine through. The last thing is to say that, look, I bloody love our squad. So much strength in depth. It was Richarlison's week the other week. This week it's Son. The other week it was Kane. The other week it was Cooley at the start of the season. So roll on the season, mate. I'm looking forward to what our team's doing, and I think it's our best start to a Premier League season ever. I'd like someone to confirm if that's true or false. But roll on.
I think year 3 under Conte, 2016 to 2017, Spurs got a strong start with 5 wins, no draws, and 3 losses. So we got 18 points out of that one. But that was after 8.
That was after 8. That was 8 games.
Well, we've only done 7, so
yeah. So it's looking that way. We're getting there, yeah.
And the 8th game is against Arsenal. So I mean, we're going to break that record.
Mate.
Hopefully.
Anyway, we've gone into an international break.
Yeah,
we've absolutely slapped the team. Dyer is in the England squad. He'll be happy about that. Yeah, great. I couldn't be happy. Come out of the international break and down the bad end of the Seven Sisters Road to slap those boys at their place for the first time in a good while. Yeah,
if it happens. Remember, if it happens, because it could get cancelled. So
that's true. Yes. Yeah, and obviously, I have to have solidarity with the RMT at the best of times. But yeah, I'd rather Mick and Eddie just let us have a go at this fragile Arsenal team. To be fair, but
Yeah,
thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Thanks for Deji. Thank you to Sid.
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good to have an hour's worth to dissect. What's been a great afternoon or great early evening. Away you go, folks. Have a pint, and obviously make sure you're on the manager market after Sid's a little bit of advice today. We've got a show tomorrow night, Sid. Yeah, with you.
I don't know now. I might just host.
He's having to reconsider. Yeah.
Yeah. Watch this space, however. But my final thoughts, and obviously before we all go, is just to see simple. Nice one, Sonny. Nice one, son. Nice one, Sonny. Let's have another one.
And on that
Brilliant.
point, let's close tonight with the only way we can is come on.
Unused. Come on.